message. So finding the equation of this line, I think what got you probably was that I think you had a positive slope in your answer instead of a negative slope. So for the slope, we should have it's going over 2 and then down 3, so that would make that negative 3/2. And then you can use any of these points. You could also use y equals mx plus b. I'm going to use point slope form, but both will get you the same answer. I would use that one just because it has a 0, which makes it easy. So I'm going to use the point negative 3, 0. So putting these into my point slope form, we'll have y minus nothing, so that's just y, which is why I like the one with the 0. M is negative 3/2. X minus x1 is negative 3, so let's write that as a plus 3. And then we'll go ahead and distribute that. And y equals negative 3/2 x, and then that would be minus 9/2. If you happen to look at the way that they wrote the answer on this one, they have this in a little bit different form. This is, they're using transformations, which we haven't seen in this class quite yet. But let me just go ahead and show that over here. If I brought this y1 over to this side, I would have y equals m x minus x1 plus y1. And it's a little odd that it's kind of a funny way that they wrote the answer. Generally, you would distribute that through and write it in y equals mx plus b like I did. But what this is saying is that, let me scoot this one over so you can see that. The slope is negative 3/2. What we're going to learn, I think it's in the next chapter for this course, is that it's shifting left 1 and down 3. So starting from 0, 0, if I took a line with a slope of negative 3/2 and shifted 0, 0, left 1 and down 3, there I am at that point. But just to show that this is the same, they used negative 1, negative 3 as their point. So y equals negative 3/2, and then x minus negative 1 for this point. If we used negative 1, negative 3 would be a plus 1, and then minus 3 right there on the end. If I distributed, I'd have negative 3/2 x minus 3/2 minus 3, which if I do 2 over 2 right there to get a common denominator, then there's the negative 3/2 x, and then minus 3 minus 6, there's the exact same minus 9/2 that I got up there. So that's why they left this in kind of a funny form. Later in the course, when we work with roots and quadratics and actually exponentials, pretty much all functions, we'll learn these transformations, but we haven't quite seen them yet at this stage. But that's the reason for kind of the funny form of the answer. Should take this one just fine. Holler if you still have a question.